Hello everybody, Cedric and Cedric here. CRWC will be reviewing AEW Collision, which happens every Saturday on TNT. As you can see up here on this screen, and it starts off with, let me go ahead and shrink this. There we go. This is June 24th, 2023. So we got done watching it at about 1:20 a.m. Sunday morning. So we're going to kind of power through this because Cedric has work in 5 hours or so, no, 6 hours.
Roughly. Thereof.
And, and it's kind of hard to do this the way I want to because there was too many multi-man matches. So I hope it's not a downer for y'all, but we watched it and we're going to say nice things because it's going to be hard to say anything bad about a lot of this. So it starts off with Shivani announcing Darby Allin is themed to the ring, but Jericho's music play. He comes out with Minoru Suzuki, and I was like, so he's wrapped up in this. I forgot that he was going to be with Team Jericho or something going on for Forbidden Door. So I'm like, all right. But Jericho, he beckons to know who is better and sexier than he and Suzuki. So Jericho says he knows that Shivani knows who it is and threatens to hurt him. It took forever for them to get to that part. Mm-hmm. All right. But still, Sting comes out to his music and Allin is at his side. That's great. But Allin introduces the partner to beat up Chris Jericho. He introduces the partner as the one that beat up Jericho at the Tokyo Dome. And then, as Cedra deduced, it's Naito. Because I was like, yeah, it has to be, him, Tanahashi, or Umino Shota. So, but Cedra suggested Naito, maybe because he's the bigger star, and and all that stuff.
And the rest of them are tied up in other matches.
Exactly. So good deduction, also detective skills there, and so Naito, he comes out, gives a full introduction. Mm-hmm. The crowd chants between holy shit and Naito. So Naito stands face to face with Chris Jericho, who bails out, and Naito music plays. That's pretty much what summed it up. It was a long thing to get to that. Naito came out dressed to the nines as always.
All white suit, white cape.
Like, I am the good guy. Check me out. Mm-hmm. That's all he was saying, Good or bad, I'm awesome. Yeah, just a brush. He says the crowd knew it was going to be Naito. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah.
There's not very many you could choose from because although Jericho wrestled over there, he didn't wrestle that long. He didn't wrestle that many, thank goodness.
Yes, they didn't get caught up into that nastiness. So after that was done, Miro has a great promo. He calls God a coward. He wants to rely on himself. He says he must walk alone. He renounces his code, his God, and his beautiful wife. He says now he walks lonely path to his own victory. Okay, here's the thing. When he said, I renounce my beautiful wife, he didn't have to say that. It's almost like saying whomever his wife is that's in WWE or someplace is not going to come to AEW. That's what that sounds like. Because he didn't have to say that, But who knows? Maybe she will or whatnot.
Maybe he's just talking.
Yeah. But Miro is believable.
Yeah.
He says this stuff, and I'm like, this dude is legit. So they can't sleep on Miro. Now, next is the match. Swerve Strickland versus Tanahashi Hiroshi. He comes out, he's looking good. And the camera, I think they did that on purpose. The camera showed Swerve just grinning ear to ear like, this is going to be fun. And then I think he saw himself and it was like, uh-oh. So he had to fix it because he was marking out.
Had to put his heel face back on.
Mm-hmm. But it was a good match. Tanahashi, here's the thing. You could see from his hip up, Tanahashi is still young and can go. But from mid-thigh down, it's not his speed anymore.
Nah.
You could see it. And his knees have been brutalized just like KG Muto's and Chono's, you know. So, well, not so much Chono's, but
definitely KG.
Yes, beat up, so many frog splashes. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you straight up. You know who was getting there before he passed? That was Eddie Guerrero. He was getting there. It was before matches, during the matches, and then afterwards. You can see his knees was like, "Bruh, I'm done."
Mm-hmm.
So, but Justin Rush says he's getting kind of flabby too. This is the worst I've ever seen him. Was a little shocking. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. You know who put him back in shape?
Kota Ibushi.
Yep. And when Kota left, something tells me Tanahashi kind of...
When they stopped teaming.
Yeah.
I mean, because we already know. We saw what happened to Kenny Omega when he got back with Kota. It's like...
He got ripped.
You got to keep up.
I ain't gonna lie. I might need to find Kota. I might need to find him.
Kota obviously don't take any days off.
No, I don't think the days take him off. But, I mean, it was... Swerve was wrestling at Tanahashi's pace the best that he could. Tanahashi had his match. Swerve didn't have his match. This was Tanahashi's match. And Tanahashi won with the high fly flow, which is frog splash. But, how can I say this? When he landed, it was like his lower body just said, ouch.
Mm-hmm.
And he paused, got the pin, good job. Then MJF's his music plays. He's on the screen. And he claims that he's going to embarrass Tanahashi. And so he demanded that match go on first because he doesn't want to watch a bunch of jabronis from New Japan in the ring all night. He says he's going to take the air guitar and shove it up his ass. You know. So, I mean, it's an MJF promo.
Yeah, it was short and sweet.
Okay, Justin Brush says that the match with MJF would be the real test for Max. Oh, he goes, Tana, I mean. Not really. This is what I suspect, okay? Just hear me out. Tanahashi is not able to keep up with Max in terms of speed, agility, and whatnot. This honestly will be a test for MJF. And the reason I'm saying that is if you're going to be a champion, you need to be able to work with anyone on their pace. You can't just go out there and run circles around them. You have to make that challenger look competitive. We're going to see if MJF can work with not just someone who is hindered and ailing, but somebody that is yet still a ring vet, a ring general, knows what they're doing and how to do it, and yet you can watch Tanahashi and tell that his mind is still in its 20s. So this is going to be a test for MJF, but for Tanahashi, the only test is, can you keep up? You know, that's how I'm seeing it.
I say that's fair, yeah.
He says that's what I meant. I said the match with MJF would be a test for Mac, yeah, which is the same person. Well, yeah, but we get you. We get you. And I feel bad for Tanahashi. I really do. But I also feel hopeful. I'm like, look, when I watched him, I was so ticked off with seeing him all the time and winning all the time. I just didn't want to see him anymore. I didn't see a true competition in the ring. I saw a slow job to this guy. And I had got introduced to him like he was just like champion, top baby face, and no one can beat him, period. And I was like, I don't want to watch this. This is not the wrestling that I beloved on the tapes that I bought from Japan and people that tape traded from Japan and bought back in the 90s. You know, so I was just upset. And I regret that. You know, so I swore that I would never be that way again, you know, or again. So the best thing that I've tried to do is when I see new people, and I even did it with the Young Bucks when I started watching them again in AEW, was just take it as watch them, watch their style, see if you like what, see if you like them in a technical expertise area, not, you know, just, oh, they're popular and I'm tired of seeing them, you know. So that's what I did, and I chose whom I like and dislike on a more, how can I say, not a pro wrestling fan, but somebody that knows what these people got to go through, more insider eyes.
Okay.
Let's see, Just Rush says he was just like John Cena, but done right, where everybody in Japan actually cheered for him. Yeah, see, Just Rush might be much younger than me. When John Cena was coming up, he started getting mega popular, and he stayed on top as popular. He tried to be heel, but he had the Sting effect. He could do bad, but people would cheer him. He started rapping, people cheered him more, and he was just epically popular until people started getting smartened up to everything in wrestling. Walls were broken down, and people got tired of seeing him as the go-to guy, and he started beating some ECW people up, and that did it. People said, no way. You're not going to come to Philly and beat up on our beloved and think that you awesome. And that was before the one night stand or ECW whatnot that they had where they threw the shirt back at Cena from the crowd. Cena became a massive social heel. Let's see. Just Rush says, yeah, when I first saw Tony watched it, I just watched matches to see if he would lose because he had always won. He was like John Cena, done right. Let's see, cheer for him. The more I watched Tanahashi, though, I saw that he did lose just at the right time. I wish I could have seen him lose. Let's see. Plus, how can Tanahashi not win you over? I know, accept him as the ace of the universe. I'm just tired of people being pushed to the heavens and being seen as unbeatable, making everybody make everybody else look weak, even those that were better before them. It ticked me off. It was like seeing Suzuki carry Okada through the match. It was like seeing Shibata carry Okada through the match. It was like seeing Bad Luck Fale carry Okada through the match. I just got tired of it. You know, that's what I got tired of. But after those years and come back and New Japan's different, Tanahashi's older, I could really appreciate seeing him. And then I started regretting and things like that. And I was like, the ace was the ace. He won't just built up that way. He actually was. But he could never beat Okada, and I don't understand that psychology. Let's see.
Because they want Okada to be a bigger star.
Most likely. Judge Brush is typing something. Gonna be the last thing before I move on to the next part, which is Brody King versus Andrade El Idolo. So, I mean, he's typing something. And my computer's being slowed, so, you know. Well, after watching Cena's whole career, where he didn't lose at all, watching Tana wasn't that bad at all. Good point. Good point. So, let's see, the Super Cena era anyway. Super Cena. You're not the first I heard say that. Huh. Next match. That's interesting. Next match is Brody King versus Andrade El Idolo. And I didn't take really many notes on this, but Brody threw Andrade into the ropes. He did that spider hang, and then he taunted with the, tranquila taunt, the, be calm taunt, and his arm was like, nah, bruh.
Yeah, that shoulder still hurt from last week.
Yep.
It was all taped up about the end. Looked like Savage Animals had gotten to it and ripped it off.
Yeah. Idolo did a diving moonsault to the outside on the King and hit his head on the barricade. Because he rolled back and I couldn't see it at first. And CJ rewound it and I looked, I was like, yeah, he banged his head.
Mm-hmm.
Brody hit a loud double chop, flooring Idolo, and I put flowing. I'm just typing, but flooring Idolo. King hit a Death Valley driver on the Idolo into the corner, but that was after his leg buckled in the first corner.
Mm-hmm. Then he did an avalanche on him again.
Yep, and caught him.
Just crushed him in the corner.
Yep, that cannonball in the corner.
Yeah, cannonball, excuse me.
And then Idolo, ultimately he was able to get the figure 4 on. And when he was going to do it, the crowd was chanting for it. They was calling for it. And that was weird,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm about to get to that. He says the Julia Hart spot made no sense at all.
So go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
Because he had the figure 4 applied.
Uh-huh.
The ref should be checking the defender if he's going to surrender.
Uh-huh.
Didn't do that. Julia Hart was on the apron with the mask.
With Idolo's mask.
And Idolo's like, let me just break this hold and go over there and have a conversation.
Okay,
that's the part I didn't like.
Okay, yeah, I understand you didn't like it, but Idolo is a Mexican wrestler. Whether you keep the mask on for all eternity until you die or you wear it at points, masks are sacred. He doesn't want her little grubby hands on the mask. He got on her last week when he was wrestling Buddy Matthews. It was a different mask, but she was over there eyeing it, and he was like, "Hey, leave the mask alone." Along those lines.
You're right. I forget about that. I really do.
She was eyeballing it earlier. He got on her, and she walked away like, "I'm not doing anything," and she finally got it. So you don't want to grab your little hands on it, and of course, the House of Black, they like little things like that. They walk around with a goat head or whatever that is, holding it up over that what's his name, the littlest one, Malachi.
Yeah.
He comes out some sort of a antlered goat thing on his face, and then they take it off and hold it up, and so they must have some, they knew it was going to be a distraction, and maybe she just wanted it. So we'll see if anything else pans out with the mask, because she didn't relinquish it. Everybody came out there and whooped up her Idolo when she still had the mask.
And Justin Rush says that Julia Hart spot made no sense at all. He says, I can buy that, but this is where the commentators can fill the holes. Yeah. What you was talking about. I'm assuming that's what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I think CJ needs to apply at AEW. And I wrote why, and I think he's going to expound on this. It's because that's a good explanation what CJ gave. Yep. And it was. That was a fantastic explanation.
I like pageantry. So in addition to what I'm watching in the ring, when that little stuff is happening, I pay attention. Those are the little details.
And so, okay, so I guess he should break the hold.
Yeah, man.
It was annoying, but he did, because I was thinking he'd get the win.
Yeah. I mean, get your grubby little evil hands off my mask. I'll skin you alive.
Yep, I'm going to skin you with a butter knife. I'm glad the show is over, but I miss Wales. That was Black Lightning.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. They should have gave it on commentary. If you're not a wrestling fan, why on earth would he break the hold? Exactly. You can't talk to the smart fans. You got to talk to the casual fans. You got to explain it. And
oh, just a brush, Cedric.
What?
There are no casual fans.
I know. I mean, no, they're out there. AEW just don't care to get them. But Collision can. It's going to take a little bit, but Collision can get those casual fans and even take the fans from WWE that does about 2 hours and 40 minutes of talking, and then the rest is action and commercials.
It's possible. Let's see. They had Andrade. Okay, so Andrade wrestled Buddy Matthews last week, beat him, had a great match, beat him. They come in, House of Black, whoop up on Idolo. This week, Idolo wrestles Brody King. They have a great match. He beats him. Did he beat him? Or did he get DQ'd?
Hold up. Justin Brush says, heck, I'm not a casual fan, and the mask thing went over my head. Yeah, it went over mine too, because I'm like, this ain't Mexico. So, and you're not wearing it, so damn that mask, bro. Win.
Nah, that's a very American centric.
It is. I apologize for my mistake. So he got the figure 4 on this time after hitting a reverse elbow, and he started bridging, and then Matthew slides in and just blatantly attacks. Then Dex the ref, Idolo wins via DQ. Brody lands a rolling lariat onto Idolo, and then they did the double team where it's a suplex toss into the Gonzo bomb, or driver. I'd rather call it a driver because it's not a power bomb. Then Julia holds up Idolo's mask with Malachi Black on the screen, and the arena goes black to the commercials and all that stuff.
So they've done this 2 weeks in a row. This would be a supreme time for Rush, Andralistico, and the assistant to show up next week on Collision to give Idolo some backup so they can actually maybe have an opponent for the House of Black and the Trios belts, because can't nobody take it from them so far.
They might be in Mexico.
But
they shown up in AAA.
But
they're not there.
What I'm saying is this would be a good setup to have them go for the Trios belt, because everybody that's gone for the Trios belt has failed, and it looks good. It makes the House of Black look good. But I really wouldn't mind a heel faction versus a heel faction program kicking Mug's ass for a good month. That would be fantastic. And they're not all, sniveling heels. They're I'm going to blast you in the face till it fall off heels. That would be exquisite.
Let's see. Before we get to the next thing, Justin Brush asked, what do you guys think about the Trios belts? In general, I don't like Trios because they're not doing lucha libre rules where the opponent is knocked out the ring, then their partner can get in without question. They're not doing the lucha libre rules. That is, Trios is after lucha libre in general for all their promotions. So in lucha libre rules, you can, multiple people can try to pin an opponent at one time or score the submission on one opponent. They could have double ankle locks and submit them, or double arm bars and stuff like that and get the win. They don't do lucha libre rules, so they don't need to have it's okay with the 6-man belts, but they don't need to call it the Trios.
That's just what Tony wants to call it.
Look,
he calls
this is where I lose favorability with anyone. This is when I get people hating me, and I'm gonna call it out, because this is what started the hatred of all those E-Fedders with me. Right. Okay, he says, yeah, I think they're stupid. I'm with Cornette when he says Twinkle Toes and the Bucks just made them for themselves. They did. But look, calling it the Trios belts just for the fanfare is like when the Fire Pro people were making their edits and they had no decent logic or anything, and then saying, yeah, it's a pure wrestler. No.
Hell, I don't even think it's for the fanfare. It's called the trio. It's called Trios because that's what Tony Khan wanted to call it. That's it. Point blank, period. And they do it, fans.
I don't think Tony Khan had anything to do with the conjuring of that stuff. I think that was all the Bucks and whatnot. And
the Bucks are Americans. They would have called it a 6-man tag team belt, but they would have got what they wanted. But that's what we would have called it. I think Trios came from Tony Khan.
A while ago, they had asked the fans if they was thinking about a 6-man tag team belt. The fans was like, no, a resounding no. And then they was like, we're gonna announce our Trios belts, and they was like, oh, Trios, that's different. We like that. That's what the fans did.
Yeah, because it's a different word. Ooh, it's a word we don't hear often. We're gonna go with that. But out when the trios belts finally came, I was like, about time, because they had been pushing trios matches since the start of AEW. All these 6-man tag team matches without fail, without end, every week, nonstop.
Then they finally get the belt, and then all those 6-man matches start going away.
No, they're not. They're still there. It's
just them teams gone. There's barely any 3-person teams anymore.
There's tons of 3-person teams. They just scattered among the shows now, instead of being just on one.
And now they're on Collision. That's not a Bucks thing, and they ought to rename it, 6-man tag team titles, or 6-man Collision belts or something.
They haven't had anybody to take it and be convincingly dominant with it until the House of Black.
I wonder why that happened. That's weird. I like that they're doing it. I do. Because
they got them.
Buddy Matthews is awesome. Brody King is awesome. Malachi Black, he's good. That's about how I see it.
Yeah, and they got them belts hostage.
Justin Brush said nobody was asking for the trios belts, because nobody was. They was doing the 6-man tag matches, but nobody was interested in 6-man belts.
Oh, let's be real. Nobody's interested in the majority of the belts that they put out there.
Or matches, really.
Nobody wanted the TBS title. Nobody wanted the TNT title. Nobody wanted the Mid-Atlantic International title.
TNT and TBS title. I'm gonna be honest with you, the E-Fetters out there, when they started doing everything on Twitch, everybody had a Twitch title. The Twitch heavyweight belt, the Twitch TV title, the Twitch tag team and trios and triple and all this, the triple threat belt, the Twitch battle royal belt, the YouTube heavyweight title. They started doing all that crap. They started doing all that. I'm like, can you name a belt after your show? Look, they do what they want to do. They having fun. They just doing what they want to do. But I'm just saying, I'm just trying to point out, Tony Khan thought just like these people do, and that's where that TNT title is. You don't name a title after a damn TV channel.
Yeah, he is a very, very rich and glorified
idiot. He's an idiot. I like that he's all inclusive. He's a damn idiot. Let's see. Should just be world middle tag women. That's it. Yeah, for now. And if they built up a good women's roster and had a women's program somewhere else that was on TV and could get actual views and whatnot, then they could work on a women's, main title, a subtitle, tag titles, and that's it for women. That's it. Main, sub, and tag. That's it if they had. And all they need is roughly 25 women. They could pull it off. Just annoyed. Let's see. Josh Brush got one more thing to say, and then I'm gonna move on to Shivani as he's typing as fast as his hands can go. I know he's trying. If his microphone was working, he'd be talking, but his microphone keeps failing him. Let's see. He says, "Yep, they haven't earned more titles at all. Heck, WWE just combined their women tag titles." Yeah, here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna point this out with WWE. They did unify a lot of belts, but they necessarily didn't. When you unify a belt, you bring out that one belt that represents the whole thing. They keeping both belts in hand. They got stupid stuff planned. A true story on the mic issues. So next, Tony Schiavone introduces Christian Cage and the TNT champion Luchasaurus.
You sure about that?
No. So Cage, I think I know how this is going, and I think I've seen this in the NWA. I'm not sure. This is not current NWA. But Christian, he walks to the ring holding the belt. Cedric notices the change of Cage's video sequence. It says "worked everyone." It didn't say, originally said "outwork everyone." It doesn't say "outworked everyone." It says "worked everyone." I'm like, nice. but you worked two people. You know, or maybe, I don't know.
He worked the whole crowd. Everybody thought that him and Jungle Boy were gonna be friends till the end.
Going on that, yeah. I'm thinking more on a shoot version. I'm thinking more on that. Getting paid a lot of money, barely wrestling.
Yeah.
Coaching a couple of people, barely doing any work. Get to wrestle on TNA if he chooses to. And getting paid a whole heck of a lot of money. More than he would make in WWE. He worked everybody on that.
Yeah, you only got to work one person for that.
True that. Hold on. I'm right now just checking to see if the thing is still recording. Because I know how this thing can get. OBS Studio get funny sometimes. So, Christian turns on Toronto and he take the people off. Okay, fine. Did some great heel promo. He talks some great games, talking about he's going to make the title better than it ever was, the most prestigious title. The title will be better than the world title and all this other stuff. And he's going to do it. He's going to elevate it. It's going to be all about him. And then he's like, and he looks at Luchasaurus and is like, we will make this the best title. And then Christian holds the title up on the ropes and Luchasaurus carries him around, puts him down. They leave with Christian holding the belt. You know, my whole thing is, it seems like one thing they could do with this, they could go various ways of Luchasaurus turning on Christian because Christian is his glory hogging, or Christian might be exposing the fourth wall, might be taking that down because he's like, look, I got this belt. This is me. I'm training Luchasaurus to be a better wrestler. So basically, it's my belt. I'm going to use him while he's champion to elevate this belt. So it's me doing it. It might be in that area. Let's see. Jester Brush says you barely have to work Khan. He just hands it out if you blow on his ear.
Yep.
And then Christian always crap on Toronto. He's just doing it. He's been doing it for years. Oh, yeah, I guess so. I saw him doing it in TNA. He was a good guy when he did it, too.
Has he ever really been a good guy? Really?
Let's see. So, next is the Owen Hart tournament match. So, it's Willow Nightingale versus Nyla Rose. And I said it last show. Nyla Rose is going to lose because they won't let her beat anyone that's in front of her. And if you put a mirror up in front of her and it fell on her, she couldn't kick out.
Huh.
That's what I was saying.
This is a good match.
This match was really good.
Mm-hmm.
This match was really good. They struggled. They fought.
They were evenly matched.
And they pulled it off. Rose, at one point, while Willow was on the ropes and Rose escaped, Rose scratched her butt.
She clawed her butt like the dudes claw backs.
She was trying to get to the back, but she wasn't tall enough. You know, but then after, you know,
I don't think so because Nightingale was bent over. She just clawed what she could.
She got her lower back and clawed down her butt. Now I'm gonna tell you this: if I was up on the ropes and someone clawed my ass, I'ma holler.
And she did holler.
Yeah, I'm gonna holler. You claw my ass, I'ma holler. That's just what's gonna happen. But after that, Willow pounced her, and it was a good one.
It was a good one.
I wish they would teach the women to run in that ring. Attack the mat with your foot. Run. You are running in that ring. You know, heel up to toe running. Let's see. Jester Brush says, time has passed, Nyla, I think. 40. There's younger people they should be pushing. Nyla had that moment in the sun. Honestly, here's my stance. It's not about your age. If you want to push age only, then get them out at 32 then. Because then they look manly or a full woman. So get them out at 30. You know, if you do by age, then you just say, okay, I know you can still go, you're still spry, but you're 40, you're done. You're never going to get a title shot again. You're never going to carry your belt. And I think that's just wrong. That's why I just can't agree with the age thing.
Now, don't let Nyla be who she can be, because if she were, the skinny minis would never get the belt back.
Look, they done had Riho beat her twice.
I didn't say anything about that. Listen to what I said.
No, I hear what you say, but once she's got that history. And you're like, well, Riho done beat her. So
if you crush enough faces with your elbow, history don't matter.
Depending upon. I really do think depending upon. Just to get this over with, after the pounce, they still fought. It was elbows, it was punches, it was all of that. I do got to point this out though. When Nyla Rose was stepping on Willow's face outside the ring earlier in the match, that was just, I was like, come on now. But at the end, Willow, she had to heave.
She did.
But she got the dangerous Queen Bomb for the pin.
Safely.
Willow arm is still ailing her badly. Yeah, she did the move safe. She got her over. And you know, you could tell her arm was hurting. Saraya and Soho and Storm surrounded the ring. Jaw-jacking, Sky Blue run in and collided with the apron, and then, you know,
got into the ring with a chair.
Yeah, got into the ring with the chair, and you know, the baddies walked away. Talking trash, going up the ramp. Why do I feel like this? If you're the one running away, you can't talk trash.
Nope.
You know, it makes you look weaker. You know, you can look back and be like, this ain't over with, but you can't be talking trash and running away.
Well, it's bad enough that Toni Storm isn't convincing.
She's a loud, mean girl.
Yeah, we covered that.
It's almost like all the women are trained to be mean girls, and it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio Sky, he had an interview where he was saying that he went over all the stuff. He was what did he say? First tag team champion, two-time tag champion,
two-time TNT champion.
Yeah, TNT champion. And so he did all that while being a former shadow of himself. He says, now you're going to see who I truly am. And I'm like, okay.
And you didn't hear what I said after that.
What'd you say?
I said, are you finally not going to be a slave to the money? Are you going to climb off the pole?
Yeah. Hold up. Justin says, well, that's what heels do. They talk trash when they run away. And he says that's the best Scorpio promo he's ever seen. Yeah. I believed him when he said that.
I believed him. I believe he's going to give him the stripper life.
Here's your moment. Here's your moment. Because you're always talking about him and the money and the pole. Go ahead. Scorpio Sky. Why don't you like him? Go. You got the floor. You got the floor.
You got the floor.
You going to speak up? You going to speak up?
You going to shut up?
You going to speak up?
You have to shut up first.
No, you got to speak up.
I've never said I disliked Scorpio Sky.
Mm-hmm. Whatever.
I never said I disliked him. I just said he got a stripper name.
He's got a stripper name.
He's got a stripper name.
Scorpio Sky doesn't sound like a stripper name. You done said it so much, it's leaning in there.
And first, at the main stage on the pole, we've got Candy. On the stage to the left, we've got Heaven. And on the stage to the right, we've got Scorpio Sky. She's going to sting you.
Hey, look, I'm using Heaven. Don't be using Heavy. I do not have. I don't want to have to build up another wrestler from being. No. Heaven is fine. It's not a stripper name.
Do you see the point that I made?
I hear you. Put Heaven in there.
Okay.
Leave that out. No. And then Judge says he had just fake trash promos before. He was playing wrestler and not actually being one.
You know why I was playing wrestler?
Why?
Because he's a stripper.
Have you ever seen a man strip?
On TV.
When?
There's a documentary on HBO Max talks all about
it. See, he's no. See, he got a point because this is what I said to you before. Let's see if your answer still holds. What? He says, does Cedra think Too Cold Scorpio is a stripper name as well?
No. Too Cold Scorpio. No.
You sure about that?
Yes. Hey, either Scorpio Sky is a stripper or he's a woman.
What's the matter with you?
Why Sky?
Let me tell you right now. If that man ever said, I identify as a woman, I'm gonna have to drive there with my sick self and whoop his ass.
Why can't he be Scorpio Jones?
That would be better.
Yes, it would.
That would actually be better.
Scorpio Sky. He just needs some ribbons and stuff, and you can make it rain. He's a good wrestler, yeah, but he's got a stripper name.
He says so. It's just the sky part, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Scorpio Jackson.
There you go.
Okay.
Scorpio Rodriguez. Anything. Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio Sky Blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't dislike him.
Okay. Next up, we got Powerhouse Hobbs versus Jeremy Prophet. And he housed him.
He housed him.
He says Velvet Sky. Is that a stripper name?
Yes.
You know, yeah. Honestly, Angelina Love, Sky Blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all stripper names.
Tony Storm. All these girls' names are kind of stripper names. Not Ruby Soho.
Not Ruby Soho.
Not Willow Nightingale. Not Britt Baker. Nah. Okay, cool. Are we going to have to go do a separate thing where we look at all the women in AEW and then choose if they got stripper names or not?
I mean, I guess we could. Nothing wrong with being a stripper.
Willow was a stripper name, yeah, but Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale sounds like somebody that might run a burlesque show.
Yeah, I can see that.
But honestly, still, as wrestlers, I take them seriously. But right now, we're just having a spot of fun.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being a stripper. Do your thing, make your bag. But I'm just talking about the names.
Powerhouse Hobbs, the best parts of the match was he hit those multiple side clutch lariats.
Yep.
He was swinging for the fence across the other person's yard. And he was hammering them in. I'm like, I think I could do that in Fire Pro.
There was one lone person that said, "Come on, Jeremy."
I know, it was cute. That one lone voice. Come on, Jeremy. I'm like, Jeremy's dying in the ring right now. You might want to.
His ears are packed with gauze. He can't hear you.
Yes. Old Simpsons references. Let's see, Willow Nightingale says just one who thought about her name a bit more. Yeah. Thinking stripper, but after that, he closed the match. Powerhouse Hobbs did with a spine buster slam for the pin.
It was crazy.
I'm gonna tell you this: nobody recalls it being called a spine buster slam. Arn Anderson, for a while, it was just a spine buster, but then he started doing a special way. And Jim Ross was calling it a spine buster slam because of the impact and how they set him down. I decided to bring it back just this once. But if he ever hits a clean, powerful spine buster, I'm probably have to put slam at the end of it. Okay? And if it injures somebody, I'm gonna have to put an H with it. It'll be a slam. So it's got levels. There's a spine buster slam, and then a spine buster slam. So those are your levels. All right, we're going to get to the main event. So it's 4-on-4. Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, Juice Robinson with the Guns, Austin and Colton versus Ricky Starks, FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler, and CM Punk. All right. Now, for all intents and purposes, because we love Dax and we love some cash, FTR stands for family, tequila, and wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I did not take notes on this match because it's just a lot.
There was so much going on.
It was a lot. But here's the thing, straight up, they got some of their stuff in. Hold up. I'm gonna tell y'all this. All right. You hear me? If you watch this match, everyone listening to this right now, out there, YouTube land and on Spreaker, this is what you call pro wrestling professionals at their finest. They didn't get their shit in.
Nope.
They didn't get all their moves. Why? Because they carried the match with the struggle. They did their moves somewhat.
At points.
Yeah, little pieces here and there. But it was the brawling. It was trying to stop the tag. It was trying to get the tag. It was knocking the people off the apron to block the tag. It was being antagonistic as Jay White was this whole match.
Jay White was in rare form tonight. The form that we're used to seeing him in, that he hasn't been able to fully get into since he's been in AEW. He was spot on tonight. And him being antagonistic to CM Punk, when they finally got in the ring and started wrestling, that is the CM Punk that I want to see. Everything that he's done prior to this point, I have not been impressed. Yes, he's a solid, clean wrestler, but there was nothing that he did that I want to see. You know, wrestlers have those moves that they do that you want to see. You want to see Powerhouse Hobbs do a spine buster. You want to see Undertaker do the last ride. CM Punk didn't have anything that I wanted to see. Even his finisher, to go to sleep, it was like, I see it done better. Then nothing I wanted to see. But when he got in there with Jay White, he was impactful. There was emotional content because Jay White was crawling up his ass. That's the way he needs to wrestle all the time. Like he's got Jay White jaw jacking in his ear. Because then he was good.
I felt that. Go ahead, Cedra. Go ahead. Pass the buck. These 4 wrestlers.
8.
Well, these 4, and I'm talking the heels.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about Bullet Club Gold, and I'm talking the Guns. The Guns, they literally listened to the veterans in this match. Mm-hmm. That's what they did. And they were on point. They were bouncing all over the place. When the hot tag was made, they was bouncing and bumping all over the place. They were antagonistic as well. They were trying to rile the crowd, but the problem is the crowd was on their side whenever Punk was in the ring.
Yeah.
When this got started and the crowd booed, let's just get into this because this is a shoot. You listen to this, anyone can go back. When Punk came out, the crowd was booing, and then you could hear the ones that were chanting. They were cheering, but the boos, you could tell the boos were being forced. Like, we are trying to out-boo your cheers for Punk. So then the cheers for Punk was trying to be louder to drown out the boos. The crowd was battling. You could almost see in the crowd. It wasn't left side, right side, rear, front. No.
It was all mixed in.
It was mixed in. You could see little square sections of people booing, cupping their hands over their mouth while others were shouting in front of them, CM Punk. You could see.
Others were booing and giving the finger. And
yeah, and Justin says he knew it. He was playing it up. And he was. Mm-hmm. Punk knew what was going on. Punk was like, what do I do? If you watch this match, you look at CM Punk. You think back on it if you have to. CM Punk carried himself as a neutral wrestler. He did not do any heel work. He didn't necessarily do any babyface work until he tried to get the hot tag. And the crowd was like, I don't want you to tag. Just stay in there and die. And then when he tagged him in, it was like, oh, you suck. But I'm glad you're in the ring, though. They didn't know what to do. Boo, boo. And Punk is like, I'm reaching for the tag. Jay White's trying to stop him. Everyone's trying to stop him. He knocks the guns off. He turns over. He leaps. He gets the tag. The crowd's like, damn it all. Starks is in like, yes, it's a house of fire. And the crowd's like, Starks. It's like, what in the world? It was hilariously dreadful. All right. He says, wonder what the crowd's going to do tomorrow. That's a good question.
Yeah.
You know, because Kojima Satoshi, he's coming in as a heel. He's coming in as he's being heel version of himself, which has never been good because it's hard for the crowd to boo him, even when he was a heel with NWO Japan, Blazes. Kojima has a special place in my heart. He responds to all of my tweets. Whenever I would tweet something to him, he would respond. He loved it. Let's see. Plus, he said, what did Just say? Plus, not everybody here is going to know Kojima like that. Yeah, no, they're not. I'm going to mention something about that after this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get through. Let's wrap this up so I can get to Kojima. It's nothing deep, but something I need to point out because I don't want people going on the clips that they showed of Kojima. I don't need them doing that. That was the worst thing AEW did right there. They kept booing. They got louder. They didn't want Punk's team to win because that means Punk win. But they was cheering the baby faces because they love the baby faces. They just don't want to like Punk.
They're just torn.
No, they're not.
They're torn between the
people that
members.
hate him because it's so tribalistic with the Bucks. But it's like the ones that were, and when Punk getting back in the ring and doing everything after all the beat down and getting back in, being a legal man and whatnot and doing stuff like that for a little bit before tagging out again. Oh my God, the crowd was they booed so hard that those that was cheering for Punk got drowned out.
When I say they're torn, they were torn between the team members. All the faces they love. But then when Punk got in, as you said, it was like, kill him.
The crowd doesn't like the heels. They don't like Bullet Club Gold. They don't like the Guns. They just hate Punk that much. They were antagonistic.
Yeah.
They was like Los Ingobernables de Japón. That's how they were being. Just antagonistic just to get at him. Just like, Osprey. And he turns, look at the crowd and go, boo. I was like, dude, that was down in Australia. They was chanting Will Osprey, and he looked like, what? Really? After all the boos? And once he showed them his attention, they booed him as loudly as they could. It was hilarious. It was my first time ever seeing anything like that in wrestling. I laughed. I probably shouldn't have, but I didn't know how to deal with that. It was just funny. And then I'm seeing it again here now. If they had critical thinking, they'd be on Punk's side anyway. Like I tell you, when I'm not on Punk's side, I'm not on Young Buck's side, despite what I just said. I'm on the side of rationality. What makes sense? What happened? Whose fault was it that did what? Be honest, be open, be truthful. I like the Young Bucks. They do cool flips, so I'm going to be on their side. That's stupid. That's just stupid. I'm not going to be on Punk's side because he was a WWE guy. He was also a Ring of Honor guy in other federations and stuff. Punk was an indie guy too. Let's see. Judgment says, I don't even know how anybody can truly be on the Bucks side in this whole Civil War thing. The Young Bucks, it's just people grew up watching them. Just like there are people out there that think John Moxley is awesome. those, yeah. So look, ultimately, what happened? Jay White, he gets in the ring. Starks is the legal man. He catches him and he catches Punk individually with 180 high angle sambo slams. It was brutal. Liked it. He put some stank on it. But then, it seemed like the faces were getting a comeback until Starks was thrown to the ropes and Juice caught him with that left hand to God. Caught him, and then Blade Runner, 1, 2, 3. And after that,
it was a wrap.
It was a wrap, and I wrote that it was an epic, amazing main event match leading into Forbidden Door. And at the end, the right thing happened. The Guns joined Bullet Club Gold. So, yep, Gun Club coming up, right? Now, I want to touch on CM Punk versus Kojima Satoshi. Okay, I love Satoshi. I've been a fan of his for a long time. But this is some years ago that I even saw that he has slowed down his cardio. As much as he works on cardio, he works on power. You can't have a heavy body and high cardio. It ain't gonna happen. I don't care how many miles you run. When you doing in-ring work, that's in-ring work. Kojima is not going to be able to have a 40-minute type match. He's not going to be able to have a extremely high-paced, fast-paced, hard-knock match. That ain't happening.
A hard-knock match, not a fast-paced one.
No, he ain't going to have a hard-knock match. Now, Kojima, he's from the old school of New Japan. All right? He was there. He started, I think, just a few years after Inoki was pushed out. So, he stiff hitter, all right? He's got literally the world's strongest lariat. That's a Western lariat waiting to kill somebody's neck, all right? That's what Kojima's got. Kojima, he's got a great arsenal. He do. He just ain't going to move in that ring like Punk can. So think if any of you've seen the movie Rocky Balboa. It's Rocky, and they tell him you're not young and fast, but you can hit hard. You need to hit him so hard his ancestors feel it. Mm-hmm. That's what Kojima, going on a bout type situation, like this is a legit type fight, Kojima would have to go with straight up power game and countering when he can. Punk is going to go with the speed game and takedown game to drain him of his energy, just take that stamina right out of him. Kojima can counter and catch somebody at any given moment with a lot of things. But Kojima, because I know him so well, if he's about to lose, it's going to be a tell. Plus, this is CM Punk trying to make a comeback. Kojima Satoshi, he's getting at the latter years of his career. So, Kojima, is he winning? No. He's not winning. He might get that lariat, but he's not going to win. Joshua says, it's just weird that this is the match. There was nobody else Punk could face. Did no one want to do the job? No.
This is for the tournament. This is in the tournament. This is Forbidden Door. They got New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestlers scattered everywhere in this thing in weird places.
Yep. Honestly, I would like to see Punk honestly go against someone like Naito or Hiromu Takahashi. I'd like to see him against Hiromu. That would have been a nice little fun match. Because Hiromu can still go. He's still in there. That's Junior.
Yeah.
Or Punk versus Takashi. Or maybe Evil. Evil might be a good choice.
Maybe.
Naito would have been the best way to go. Or maybe even Okada. Let Okada job for once. Ishii would have been good. Ishii and Punk would have been good. Yeah, Just a Brush. He said, yeah, even Ishii would have been a lot better. Mm-hmm. But he's in other things. Tanahashi and MJF. I honestly am looking forward to that match. I want to see how MJF handles him. I want to see how Tanahashi handles him. Because Tanahashi, people don't think about it. Tanahashi's got a devastating arsenal.
Yeah.
That he can mess you up. You know, but he's also, I think, third wave or generation or whatnot of New Japan. Not fourth. You know, Manabu Nakanishi, he was fourth, I think. He's up there. Nagata Yuji is fourth, I think. So, these people are up there. Collision, yet again, 2 weeks in a row. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Keep it up. Don't stop. I like this. I think this is worthwhile. I think this is what's going to bring casual wrestling fans to AEW because they sure enough pushed them away. They need to get the word out on Collision, show some things, show some promos, show how some matches go, especially Hobbs. Use Hobbs. You can use him as a highlight reel for real. Mm-hmm. All right. That's the best way to go. I thought this would be a short one, but we've been going for a while in this one. I'm glad. I'm glad Tony Khan has gone in with everyone to even make AEW. All right, you know, I'm glad of all the positivity that he brings into the locker room in general for people to be accepted there and not pushed out because of their gender or their sex or whomever they know or don't know. He doesn't care about that, you know, but he needs to care about quality though. Let's see. Just a Brush says, I was kind of hoping that Naito would have win against Punk and Sting and Darby got a Noah guy to really open that forbidden door, especially since they just wrestled in Noah. Yeah, they could have done that, but then Noah would be like, we want more guys. Wrestling companies, they get like that. They do get like that. It's like, we want more of our guys. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? You can't make this guy look bad. It's like that. It's bad. It gets real bad and deals get torn up quick. You know, so you got to always think about how you're going to treat the talent. You know, it's like, I don't know, it's akin to spending, 5 months to make a wrestler with somebody in their own promotion to translate it from your game to their other game. And then they just let that wrestler get absolutely squashed, in a tournament opening match. And then ask you, what are you upset about? Trolling you. Something like that. And as Punk said, the apology has to be just as loud and as public as the offense. So, there you go. But hey, we're going to get up out of here. That's going to do it for us. And since there was great participation in this one, just like the last one, but I'm going to say it. This has been Cedric, Cedra, and Just a Brush, also Yip, for CRWC commentary, AEW Collision. You can catch that on Saturdays, as always, at whatever regular time that they're going to have, because it keeps switching, because they're going to have to. But it's great. It's a great wait. Bated breath, you'll breathe easy after. I like Collision. And as Punk said, I'm a Collision guy. I shouldn't even be up here. That's the division. And I like that the most. So with that, y'all take care. Y'all be chill. And we'll see you next time.